IT, hope y'all are doing well. Listen, sorry for the video quality. I'm just going for a walk at night right now, but I wanted to talk about today because today was so easy. I'm gonna put what I'm talking about up on the screen. You're not gonna see my beautiful face anyway, but so today was super easy. Very, very easy price action, and I'll tell you why. So the Nexus got hella short. I shorted BitET Sizzle, I shorted Soilano, I shorted ET Heezy. So I actually took maybe 4 trades, I think, 4 or 5 trades today. I lost 1 and then I won 4. And the one that I lost was a 0.5%. It was a Bitcoin short, actually, trusting the market site for divergences like a fucking idiot. Man, every time I trade without looking at divs and shit, I trade way better. Like when I just stick to my structure, it's way fucking better every single time. Anyway, super easy trade today. And again, I'm gonna put it up on the screen, but I'm gonna explain why it's easy, okay? So the Nexus is hella short. I shorted, obviously. Everyone thinks it's because of the war and Trump's tweet and whatever. And I mean, like, you know, you guys know how I feel when it comes to news. I don't actually believe that news dictates the direction of the move. I just think it like maybe enhances it. So everyone's saying, oh yeah, Bitcoin was looking good, blah, blah, blah. I actually don't think Bitcoin was looking good at all. And it's simply because your structure is just ass, okay? Like you guys have seen me and heard me say many times on live when I used to go on live. By the way, if you want to see me go live, let me know in the comments down below. But I hear my fellow like streamers are like complaining about low engagement and low views, and I don't really like, I don't know. I go live every day in the Nexus. Anyways, that's not what today's about. So basically, when you have shit structure, the reason why Bitcoin or any asset for whatever, like for that matter, leaves shit structure, like when that happens and you don't properly accumulate, which is like, how many times have you guys heard me say, this is what happens when you don't properly accumulate. This is what happens when you don't properly accumulate. Whenever that happens, that's basically a result of leaving shit structure, right? When you don't actually accumulate, the reason why you do get this like staircase up, elevator down shit that happened today is because you don't properly accumulate. And as a result, you leave a lot of liquidity behind, right? So when you have higher, low, higher, high, and then you just get higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, high, like, and you never had a proper range, like it's just kind of slowly squeezing up, like rising wedge type shit, I guess is what people call it. I don't really use wedges. I think wedges should be saved for just the potatoes. But anyway, whenever you have that, the reason why you do get that kind of staircase up, elevator down shit is because you're leaving a lot of liquidity essentially. And that's why I always say this is what happens when you don't properly accumulate. So, you know, last week we had a short. If you guys were following me on Twitter and my last couple of videos, I was talking about Solana hitting $140, which it never did. It went to like 141. So it was off the target by $1 or like less, like half a dollar. And from there, you know, Solana did the worst case scenario because it did sweep 2 of the 3 lows that we were looking at, but it didn't sweep the main one. And so I was like, all right, well, no longs until either I get good structure or that low goes. And now as a result, what happened is we ended up, you know, like I said, staircase up and elevator down. And so when you don't have good structure to utilize, like we didn't today, and you have upward structure, I'm looking for every reason to short. And like I said, you know, we don't get every trade. This Bitcoin today went up $3,000 and I couldn't even find a 1-minute entry. There was a 1-minute entry at like 9:30 a.m. during New York Open, which I missed. And there was another one last night. But aside from those 2, and I missed the one at 9:30, I was looking at other things, there were no trades. So I was not long, right? And I think many people, retail specifically, obviously, just long the top. And, you know, it's tale as old as the bull run. Like I said, what's been happening lately is just slowly squeezing garbage price action up where we drop and then we don't stay down. And as a result of not staying down, we don't properly accumulate. And as a result, we leave a lot of liquidity. And as a result, we staircase up and elevator down. So, you know, we ended up getting that today. The staircase up and the elevator down. I didn't get any longs, you know, I didn't get any longs. And listen, even in the Nexus, you know, we're not perfect. You know, emotions get to the best of us. And I see like sentiment change all the time. Guys, as a creator, I gotta tell you, like, one of the advantages of being a creator is you really get to like see the sentiment for real, you know? When I'm on X, I can see the other creator sentiment. I can see the consumer of content sentiment as well. So I'm kind of at an advantage, you know? Obviously, we're looking at analytics and stuff as well. So we get to see what people are searching and blah, blah, blah. Tom Crown was talking about that today. Shouts out to Tom Crown. Anyway, the point is I see the sentiment change, you know? People, even in the Nexus, are like, man, we're in a bull run. Why are we looking for shorts? Because all day I was like, guys, I'm looking for shorts. I'm looking for shorts. And then we just slowly kept grinding higher. And then $3,000 later, it's like, dude, we should have just fucking longed. But the answer is I don't long the top. I don't do that because at any point that could have changed. You know, today, we ended up rejecting from the 786, but we very well could have rejected from the golden pocket as well. And like I said, a lot of the masses, the majority of people are gonna say, oh yeah, that was because of the whole war thing and Bitcoin was looking good. And I would argue that Bitcoin looks like fucking shit because it didn't properly accumulate yet again. And so, you know, I don't know what's gonna happen moving forward, but today was very easy. You know, you just had up, down, up, down, up, down. And when you hit supply zones, which we did hit, right? There was a supply zone that perfectly aligned with the 786. Not only that, but many coins, Dogecoin, Ethereum, Solana, Bitcoin, probably some others that I wasn't watching. Those are the ones that I noticed today. All hit supply zones. And what have we learned in the last, I think maybe my third video back, I talked about how the entire market moves in tandem. And when everything is at an important level, that's when you got to be paying attention the most. And everything was at an important level today, including the most important ticker, the number one indicator, by far the only indicator that you ever need is USDT dominance. So I'm still going to make my video on that. I still need to make a video on that. And I will. I'm just like working on the course right now on the Nexus, but I'll get to it, I promise. Anyway, so USDT dominance hit my make or break level, okay? It hit my make or break level. And the thing about USDT dominance and the thing about my make or break levels is, and this is not to be like arrogant or whatever, but like you can't fuck with the make or break zones, you know? If it's like this thing bounces here or it rejects here or it doesn't, and it's like gonna be a massive move in the opposite direction, that's something you very much so need to be paying attention to. And that's exactly what happened on USDT dominance today. So the Nexus knew, you know, we were prepared. We got the exact short on, again, Bitcoin. Ethereum, I didn't give the short. It was kind of like not a FOMO entry, but it was not like really a great setup where Bitcoin was a little bit easier. And we got the Solana one. The Solana one I gave out in the Nexus. I added them and I'm like, guys, I'm going in here, whatever. And you know, that was kind of a big move down. And because we didn't properly accumulate and because we have shit structure and now we have the catalyst, which is the news. Remember, I don't believe that news is actually the dictator of the direction. I just think it's the enhancement of the direction. Right, it's the Viagra of the direction enhancement. Because of that, like I do still think that we could get a bigger drop from here, you know? So we'll see what happens. For me, I'll tell you this, I'm not long right now. We had a pretty big drop and, you know, I'm kind of suspecting a range is gonna form at the very least. So wherever the range may form, Bitcoin at the time of recording is just above a demand zone. So if we range here, I'll be looking for a Model 1 or a Model 2 accumulation. I'm not touching this thing because this knife could fall pretty fast and pretty hard. Why? Because we didn't properly accumulate. So, you know, I'll be looking for an internal accumulation. If we find one, cool. If we don't, cool. And, you know, like I said, I don't get every move, right? I missed $3,000 on the way up, but I hit it on the way down and I have no problem doing that. And the majority of my positions, not the majority, but a lot of my positions are more shorts than longs, and it's only because they give clean setups on shorts, whereas longs, they do that stupid gay slowly squeezing up shit, and I'm never gonna be the guy that longs the top. So like I was telling the Nexus today, we did a daily recap, and I was telling them, I'm like, guys, you know, we don't always get they don't always give us what we want to see. Often if you're scalping, you'll get good stuff. But today, like on the 1 minute time frame, I didn't have any entries on the 1 minute time frame. And I go back every single week, we go back and we study and we have our Tuesdays and Thursdays, we do practicing the game stream. So, you know, we're back testing, we're looking at and studying positions that we took or didn't take, or what mistakes did we make or didn't make or whatever. So we are, you know, actively, for a lack of a better way of putting it, like shooting the free throw, right? Like we're, you know, LeBron can teach you how to shoot a free throw, or Shaquille O'Neal, just kidding, could teach you how to throw a free throw, you know, a million times, but until you actually do it, you're not gonna learn, right? So we go and we actually practice the game. We apply what we learn in the course, and you know, it's just practice. At the end of the day, it's practice, practice, practice. Like I said, I could preach to these guys how I do it, but until they actually do it, it's not gonna get done, right? So we go back and we practice the streams and whatever. And so, you know, today, looking back, I didn't even have not even a 1 minute, not even in hindsight, did I have a 1 minute entry that I would have taken. And so I have no problem with that. If it went all the way to 500K, this is what I was telling them. I was like, guys, listen, if it went all the way to 500K and we had no structure to work with, I would feel absolutely zero FOMO, because you know who would ride that motherfucking elevator down after getting that huge, you know, staircase up to 500K? This guy. And yeah, so I mean, today was easy. Today was very easy. We had some Model 1 distributions and Model 2 distributions on all of these small time frame, or not small time frame coins, but we had Model 1, Model 2 distributions into supply zones on many coins, while USDT dominance hit its make or break zone. So to me, I'm not surprised in the slightest at this move. And yeah, I mean, today was super easy. Today was like, I actually don't think it could have been easier than today. So we'll see how low this thing brings us. I am short term. I can't say short term. I haven't checked the chart in like 2 hours, but I was bearish, not bearish, but I was looking for shorts this morning. There was no way I was longing the top, like I said. So, and that ended up playing out, and you know, it is what it is. We got a decent move. Again, we'll be looking for reaccumulations. If I don't see them, then I'm just gonna hold the shorts. And hey, like there's a possibility that Bitcoin does get a further pullback. Market Cipher B on the 3-day time frame looks like shit on Bitcoin. Like it literally looks like, you know, the end is either here or near, right? So I don't use Market Cipher to dictate where I think price is gonna go. I've learned my lesson then to do that. I use it as confluence with entries, and kind of just like the cherry on top these days. I don't really prioritize it. I don't really say, oh, we have a 3-day bearish divergence, I'm only shorting. I don't really think like that, especially when so many different time frames are conflicting. Like your weekly has a green dot, white dot for me, and has like thick money flow, but the 3-day looks like it's literally about to die. You have monthly bear divs across many different cycles like going on. So there's a lot of conflicting signals on Market Cipher. You know, would I be surprised if we get another big push up? No. Would I be surprised if we get another big push down and this is the end of the bull run? No. Like I'm open to all scenarios, as I think that most responsible investors and traders should be, right? So we'll see how it goes in the coming days. Today was super easy for a nice scalp. Didn't get the move to the upside. Don't get all of the moves, and I don't claim to either. You know, this morning was when we did our analysis. I conducted my analysis in the Nexus. I told these guys very transparently, I'm like, guys, like we are in very hostile environment today. I even posted on Twitter yesterday that I think this week's price action is gonna be so fucking scammy. And so far, I'm right about that, right? We had the whole staircase up and elevator down thing. So we'll see if we get a nice, I don't want to say nice, but a V-shaped recovery. I fucking hate V-shaped recoveries. Shit's annoying as hell. But we'll see if we get it. And, you know, we'll go from there. But anyways, that's it for me. Today was super easy. And if you made money, cool. If you didn't, sorry. If you went break even, that's good, because this week is going to be a very scammy, like I said, very scammy price action. And in my opinion, is this mic on? Yeah, I hope so. And in my opinion, you know, if there's ever going to be a week where you're out, this is the week, I think. I think you just sit on the sidelines. We have FOMC on Wednesday again. You know, I feel like we have FOMC every 2 fucking hours. We have FOMC again. You know, we're on the brink of war. So we'll see. What is this alert? Oh, we broke above 26. All right. I got to go check on my positions. But YT, YouTube, have a good night. Have a good day. I don't know when I'm going to upload this. Probably right now. But I'll see you guys in the next video. If you like the content, make sure to hit like, make sure to subscribe if you want to join the Nexus, where I give you guys every morning multiple, well, not multiple live streams, but live streams every morning with my analysis, multiple updates throughout the day in real time. Even when I don't know, I'm very transparent. Other Discords, man, I pop around because I got to window shop a little bit so I can like kind of scope out the competition. Man, other Discords are so like, there is no activity in there, and it's crazy because the people that post, I think, man, they're like nowhere to be found when it's like when you're needed the most. These people are nowhere to be found. So it's kind of like, anyways, I'm very active. It's not about them, not to knock anybody either, but I'm very active. So if you want to join, I had like, I think 20 updates today. I'm not even joking, maybe even more. If you want to join the Nexus, enter thenexus.com. Links in the description down below in the pinned comment. YouTube, YT. I will see you guys later. Shout out to the Nexus. One love.